talked about, when she texted me back, she said, I want you to talk about the importance of having God in your everyday. My name is Ebony Lambert, that's my husband, Thaddeus McLaurin, and I run a nonprofit, Hope that Helps International. We do worldwide missions. I just came back like 8 weeks ago from a mission in Uganda and Kenya. We have mission bases in India, and we've got invited to South Africa, so we want to do some stuff here in the Tampa Bay area. I'm originally from the Northeast. My heart is to see people come to salvation, to walk in the power of God, to be set free from the poverty of the mind and the poverty of the spirit. Because one of my big things that I push is economic empowerment. When I go into villages in different countries, I don't come to bring food stamps and welfare aid because that's what destroyed Black America. I'm proud of that. I came out of that in the 80s. I know what it's like. I remember when food stamps had the picture on it. You had to rip it out the book. So you're talking to somebody that knows the system and understand how it works. And it made us in America, those that have become dependent on it, in the Black and the white community, it made us slaves. It took away our ability and our desire to work and to stand for ourselves and be independent. And I saw the same thing happening in these villages when I traveled throughout Uganda the first time I went there during one of my college breaks. And so we talk about poverty. Everybody came up here and talked about some form of poverty and economic power that needs to happen in our communities. And I was going to talk about something else, but now the Holy Spirit is leading me, so I'm going to go where he's going because he's the leader of it. One thing, before you can be free in your economics, you have to first be free in your mind. You talked about, I think both of you ladies talked about the mind. God has given me, I have a book coming out next year. It's going to be called Mind Change, Life Change. Until you change your mind, your life will never change. Because the poverty that binds people is not a poverty based on the color of your skin. Because in reality, no one can stop you. That's the reality you have to have. That's the reality the Black community can have. And let me tell you, as a young person growing up in the 80s, I know what it's like to go through racism. I lived in Connecticut, but I didn't live on the right side of the tracks in Connecticut. Okay, I can tell you a story of sitting in a hospital as a little girl and hearing doctors. They wanted to have a community thing where they wanted to take kids from the neighborhood I lived in and put them in another neighborhood. And they didn't think I was smart enough to understand what they were saying because I was about 6 or 7. And I remember I got a ring stuck on my finger. And I heard 2 doctors talking and saying, I don't want those people in my school. And I remember as a little girl thinking, now, what the hell did this doctor that he wouldn't want me at his school? Because I knew, even though I was a child, I understood they were talking about me. But the thing is, I can't let that incident stop me from being who God called me to be. The color of my skin can't dictate that to me. And as long as black people pay, I'm going to say this, and some are like me and some not, but I never stand up and speak for applause or to be re-invited back. Until you get rid of the pity party card, and still you get rid of the victim, we cannot play the victim card. Because you know what, when we send our kids out into the world and they go out there and be the victims, they'll never succeed. You succeed when you are rid. The Bible does not say that you are a victim. The Bible says that we are more than conquerors through Christ Jesus, who loved us, died for us, and gave himself for us. So when I walk into a place, it doesn't matter if I'm the only person that looks like me. I'm more than a conqueror. I stand on equal ground. And matter of fact, if they're not saved, I stand on higher ground because of who I am in God. And until we as the Black community stop trying to be pity party, and especially, let me say this, to Black Christians, your hope is not in this governmental system. Yes, we want to, me and my husband voted. When she asked that question, I thank God for my husband because he sat down and went through every single amendment. He knew exactly what every single amendment stood for. So when I went in there and checked off things, I knew what I was voting for, I knew why I was voting, and I knew who I was voting for. And we understood what we were doing. So the Black people have to get, I'm not even going to go into politics, but the Black people have to get educated on politics too, because everybody goes in and votes Democrat. They don't even know what that Democrat believes in. But you vote Democrat because that's just what Black people do. But I'm going to leave that alone. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. I am from the community. I may be yellow, but I know. Right? Until Black people get the victim mentality, stop crying and playing and begging and whining and, oh, I'm Black, I can't do nothing. Listen, you are created with the power of God. You have the image of God on the inside of you. Okay? And not only that, as a church, I see myself before I am even a Black woman. I see myself as a Christian. I see myself as a woman of God. And one of the reasons why our communities are failing and why the church as a whole, for my Black and my white sisters and brothers, because I love everybody in God. Wherever God sent me, I love them. But until we start seeing that we are one people. You know, when I was in Uganda, it's so funny. When I was in Uganda, I was in Kenya. I was talking to a young man, and we were talking about politics. He's preparing to go to the university. He's actually preparing to come to a university here. He was practicing. We started talking about politics. And he started talking about how much he admired the American system of politics. And I started saying, well, what do you admire about our political system? And he said, because we have so much tribalism here. Now, this is what's interesting. Everybody over here looks the same to me. They're all Black, they're all dark skinned, everybody looks the same. But they see differences. in themselves, because I'm from this tribe, and my great-great-great-great-grandfather was his father was a king from this tribe. So they created divisions, and because of those divisions, they have a nation that can't really further itself and grow. And here in America, as much as we don't like it, if you're a Christian, we're supposed to have as much in common with them. And I'm saying to white America too. We're supposed to have equally as much in common with them. And until the church, and I would say this, until the church becomes one, we will never see the great revival. Because you want to know what? And this is something white people don't like and black people like. God is not sending a revival to the white church. And God is not sending a revival to the black church. He's sending a revival to the body of Christ. Everybody has to come together. And everybody has to become unified. There has to be forgiveness on the black community side. There has to be humility on the white community side. And there has to be a oneness. And we cannot hold on to hatred and bitterness and angst. Yes, some of our ancestors was done wrong. Yes, some of us was denied jobs because of the color of our skin. But the day and age we live in right now, like me and my husband said, we will not raise our daughter with a victim mentality. The day and age we live in now, we had a president who was black. He got hatred, people didn't like him, but guess what? There's no excuse for no black person to achieve nothing. Because if a black man can become the president of these United States of America, anything is possible. So when we begin to put away this, the poverty that is blinding black America is nothing to do with our pocketbooks and everything to do with our mentality. Everything to do with the way we think. I remember when a young lady got saved, and she where I'm at on my time. I want to stay faithful to the time. 4 minutes. She came to me and she said she started going back to school, and she said to me, she used to live in the projects. She had about 3 or 4 kids, and she said to me, I would have never came out of this place if I didn't get saved and begin to change my mind. All right. So the poverty she was in, it didn't have nothing to do with the government wasn't holding her in that project. It was the mentality that she had. Okay? And the mentality that we have as black Americans is a mentality of poverty. When we sit up here and talk about the black man doing this and that means we are like, you are like when Joshua and Caleb went to the promised land. Right? Joshua and Caleb said, we're well able to take the land. They didn't see themselves as small. But everybody else said, we look like grass. They're near the same. First of all, did you go and have a conversation and ask them how tall do I look to you? Do I look like a grass? They didn't know what they looked like in their sight. But that's what they saw. They self-imposed. Right. So we have to break the poverty mentality off of our own minds as a community in order for us to begin to rise. I love the black community. I came out of the black community. I'm mixed because my father is mixed, my mother is got Native American in her blood, but we consider ourselves black Americans. And when we look at what was done to us, we went through a lot, but that doesn't mean that we stay there. It's not a place to dwell, it's a place to move forward. And if we're going to truly empower our communities, we have to begin to network even outside of our communities. Because there are believers on both sides, on the white side and the black side, that will be willing to help our communities grow. But if we remain bitter and angst and keep this poverty mindset and keep looking, I'm just a black man in the struggle against the white man. No, I'm a Christian walking on the foot and the head of the enemy with the bottom of my foot. I'm not just a black woman in the struggle against white America. I am a believer. I am a world changer, and the devil is underneath of my feet. That means every community I go to should be changed. Whether it's I go into the Asian community in China, I should see a change because the power of God is on the inside of us. We have to get our minds focused on the battle that is most important, and that is the spiritual battle. Right. There is a war that is being waged, and you talked about the TV, and the war is for the mind and the soul of our children. It's for the mind and the soul of humanity. And the believer is the only one that has the power in any community to break those minds free from the bondage that exists. Now, I know everything I said, everybody don't agree with it, but that's all right. Just pray about it. Hallelujah. Pray about it. Hallelujah. Because obviously what we're doing as a community isn't working because, you know what? Our school systems are failing. Everything is failing. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I got 1 minute. This is the last thing I'm going to say about politics. Everybody wants to blame slavery as the reason why the black American family died. Everybody wants to bring up the hatred of that black American has felt as against when white people were attacking us and hanging us and lynching us and doing all this crazy stuff. But if you study your history, I did sociology in college, and I learned something really interesting when I started looking at the black American history. You do not see the denigration and the decline of black America until the 70s, when black America began to adopt a liberal mindset. Liberalism has destroyed black America. When we began to adopt a liberal mindset of sex, love, freedom, and all these
crazy ideals, you begin to see the black man leaving out of the home. You begin to see people having sex out of wedlock. Even in slavery, black people, even when slavery was over, they was able to tell you who their cousin, uncle, auntie was, who their daddy was, because the family was united. The family did not get divided until the mind of the black Americans got divided. You know why? Because we began to embrace an idea that was not our own. And we began to embrace and study liberal ideology. Liberal ideology has destroyed black America. And until we return back to the ways of family and community and unity and loving one another and fathers being there with their children, we're not going to see that. And the only person that can do that is God. There's no government that can mandate a man to love his wife. Okay? There's no government that can mandate a mother to love her children. The only person that can restore the community is God. And